Hello, good morning. It's good to be back. Haven't been away for a while. I was actually involved in some equally very important matters. I'm so delighted to be back. So, hi everyone, how do you do? My name is Christy and I welcome you to my channel. I'm so delighted and so excited to do this video today because this topic it's quite interesting. It's an interesting one. I don't know whether you have heard this statement. I'd rather be in a toxic relationship than be on my own by myself. Have you heard that before? When someone would say that I prefer to remain in a toxic relationship than to be on my own by myself. And this is deep. Those who make this statement, this heavy statement, usually speak out of deep conviction. They must have settled it within themselves that they would rather remain in a toxic relationship than stay on their own by themselves. And this conviction usually arises from culture, religion, community related issues, and well, some have monophobia. Let me just limit myself to these four issues, culture, religion, community, and monophobia. Those who already settle it within themselves that they will remain in a toxic relationship rather than being alone. Usually, that conviction arises from this four, not limited to this four, but I'd like to just limit so I don't make it too cumbersome to discuss. So, let me start with culture and religion. These two are looked upon as sacrosanct, the kind of sacred, you can't do anything concerning them. And in some of these cultures and religions, beating your spouse to correct him or her is okay. There's nothing wrong in that. You can beat and even inflict bodily injuries. It's still part of the process of correcting that person and putting the person back on track. And more often than not, women are more affected in a toxic relationship. I know that some men do suffer from toxic relationship as well, but women are more susceptible to pain and sufferings in toxic relationships. And like I said before, flogging, beating of this woman, because like I said, a woman is more susceptible to pains, sufferings in a toxic relationship. So men are actually allowed, permitted by some culture and some religion, to beat up their wives, to beat up their female partner, to bring them back on track, to correct them. I would suggest that we should not look at religion and culture as sacrosanct. We should deliberately review them from time to time so that we can expunge abuse and any nasty aspect of it and update even the good ones so that we're all okay and our relationships are okay. Yes. Because if bodily injuries are overlooked, how about psychological? emotional damages. You can imagine. So please, I'm going to suggest, like I said before, that we should intentionally review our cultures, our religions, to expunge abuse of any type. And then the third one on my list is community related issues. In my part of the world, we have something that we call Beburu, Aproko, busybody. The community will not just let you be. They will not just let you be. They'll keep coming at you. Unfortunately, it's the victim that they will continue to press it upon to remain in that toxic relationship. You hear things like, do you want to make it a generational problem? Your mother had to leave her relationship. You two, you're going towards that direction. No, you must endure. You must remain in this relationship and make it work. Then they come up with all kinds of even more terrible situations, more terrible stories, and those ones are enduring in their various relationships. So they ask him why you would not make it work. So they are compelling this person, not minding how that person is wired, not minding the mental state of this fellow. They're not even minding the threshold, pain threshold of this person. They just continue to bombard her, continue to give her reasons why she must remain in that relationship. And when this woman eventually opts out, decides to step aside because she doesn't want to go berserk, of course, she must have reached her limit and she just wants to step aside to see how she can look at it from outside, without endangering her life. They call her names. Like I said, in my own part of the world, you hear names like Dali Moshu, and that's a terrible tag that suggests that this fellow has gone into a relationship, into a marriage, and because of a lack of endurance or because she doesn't have the capability, she had to return to her parents' house. Even if she went ahead to rent a place for herself or moves into her own personal house, she is still tagged with that name, Dali Moshe. And then you see people jeer at her, make fun of her, say nasty things about her, and all and all. And she has to work extra effort to ensure that this does not define her. She has to put in extra effort. And that's really tiring. Really tiring. Yes. I'm suggesting that communities should be more sensitive. They should be more sensitive and more supportive, you know, because it's not really nice buffeting this victim further, making her, feel that she's the one that is bad. She's the one. Even if you're going to tell her her mistakes, you can do it with love, nicely, without having to tag her as a failure and on and on. I think the community, we need to be more supportive and sensitive while we are at this. It's important. We lack love, we are not sensitive enough, we're not supportive. And I think we should review ourselves, each one of us, every one of us. I think we are all guilty of this. Some people may not even see anything, but their body language, their facial expression, say even worse things than those who say some of these things. So the community has to, be sensitive, be mature while delving into other people's matters. And then the fourth on my list is monophobia, and it's been defined as the fear of being alone. So, because of this, you endure and remain in a toxic relationship. Let me quickly remind us that phobia generally, is an exaggerated, usually inexplicable, and illogical fear of a particular object, class of objects, or situation. That's the definition of phobia. That's how it's been described. It's just an exaggerated, inexplicable, illogical fear of a particular thing. So the fellow who has monophobia and because of this condition remains in a toxic relationship needs to have sessions with a psychotherapist for help, because you actually need help. Going by the description or the definition of phobia, you need to see a professional to help you get out of whatever phobia it is. In this instance, monophobia. You don't have to remain in that toxic relationship. Don't lose your life because of an exaggerated, inexplicable, illogical fear. So, what do we do? The first thing is to identify the causes of toxicity in your relationship. Once you're able to identify it, address it head on through counseling, therapy, because your life is actually being put on the line. Please consider stepping aside until the issues are resolved, if they can be resolved. I think life is more important. Like the saying goes, when there's life, there is hope. You can do better things with your life. You can enter into better relationship if you do not damage yourself mentally, socially in this toxic relationship by remaining there. So please consider to step aside and look at it from the outside and see if the issues can be resolved. And if not, please take a walk. It's for the good of everyone. I hope you agree with me. Please let me have your comments, your reactions under the comment section. Thank you very much for your time. I hope to see you very soon. Thank you.